this week's Medicine Conclave. We are representatives from the Church of the Sacred Synthesis and are so honored to share some information with you all tonight in regards to what Psilomethoxin is and what the benefits are. This is our original sacrament that members of our church work with, something near and dear to our hearts. But before we dive into all of that, I would like to share with you just some fun information about what is coming up and ways in which you can participate in the events that we have going on here at the Church of the Sacred Synthesis. So first and foremost, we are hosting a 30-day protocol that is supported by Benjamin Moore and myself starting this Sunday, September 7th. It's going to be running for 30 days, and we are going to be working with the Sacred Bundle. What is the Sacred Bundle? That is our three sacraments. That is the Psilomethoxin, the Jaguar Light Wand, and the Unity Mist. So 5-MeO DMT and Psilomethoxin. And Benjamin and I have built out this really beautiful protocol that is doing ceremony every Sunday for 5 Sundays in a row. 3 of them are supported virtually, and then 2 you are having on your own. And then throughout that time, there's so much beautiful prompts coming through, support, connection with the group. And so far we have maybe 35 or 40 people signed up. So if you feel a calling, we'd love for you to join us. If that's not in your availability right now, we are hosting a light wand ceremony this Sunday as well, starting at 9 a.m. Central. That is working with the Jaguar Light Wand. We host those ceremonies once a month and are very much looking forward to this Sundays because we have decided to extend the ceremony time. We're adding a bit more seated movement and other components to just really open up the body, bring in some more physical expression beyond the energetic release and expression that we get working with the light wand. So those are our exciting things that are occurring. Anything you care to share?
Oh, no, not at all. Yeah, actually I do. So,
great.
Yeah, we, let's see, 5 weeks. And yeah, we're going to be ceremony every week to reiterate what you said. You don't have to join all of them if you don't want to be part of the 30-day protocol. But if you just want to join in on this Sunday, this is going to be our monthly ceremony. This one, and then the 5th of October will be, again, our monthly ceremony. So we'd love to see you in both capacities if you can make it. And we will also be participating in this 30-day protocol along with you. So it's going to be a really beautiful way for us all to drop in and further deepen our relationship with our inner self.
Yeah, and beyond that, other ways to get involved. We have new member orientation once a month. We host a group integration for membership once a month simultaneously. Each week, we are hosting conclaves of various topics, like this is the Medicine Conclave. We have energetics, ceremony, and then our Heroes Dose. Next week will be the Heroes Dose, and in honor of our veterans and loved ones from September 11th, which will be next Thursday, there will be a specific conclave focused on veterans and psychedelic use. Ben will be hosting that particular conclave, so we warmly invite you to come and tune in to what's happening in the psychedelic space with veterans. So I'm looking forward to witnessing what you care to share with us.
Yeah, I'm really excited to bring forward just some ideas, information around how veterans are using psychedelics right now, some of the studies that are ongoing, some of the different organizations that have access and channels for people to use for ceremonies, for retreats, and what we're doing specifically to bring that forward as well. So I'm really looking forward to next week. And it's going to be a very important conversation around veteran and psychedelic intersection.
Beautiful. And I think you can probably be heard okay, but you're speaking just a little softly. We both are starting to bend more than me right now. I have a little bit of a cold, so
Working on it.
We're working on it. So thanks for bearing with us. So diving into Psilomethoxin and the benefits of working with it. So I guess first and foremost, a little history on what Psilomethoxin is, if you don't mind, Ben.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. So Psilomethoxin is a tryptamine analog, or excuse me, a serotonin analog, a tryptamine, which was first synthesized in 1965 at the Pasteur Institute by Mark Julia. And so between 1965 and 2007, there was no real talk or whisper of this compound existing. There was theories that people had tried to create it, but there's no concrete evidence of that. And then 2007, Alexander Shulgin, the godfather of many of the psychedelic compounds that we work with today, he wrote in a post that he believed that you could create psilomethoxin by adding 5-MeO-DMT to the substrate of or to the manure of a cow that was growing psilocybin mushrooms. So we took that and we ran with it. And so what that means is that essentially he was theorizing, and he was a genius, so I took a lot of his theories pretty seriously, that the mushroom enzymes would take the 5-MeO-DMT into its biography and create through its own internal synthesis this new compound, this theorized compound. And so we believe that through that process, we are creating a new molecule, which is called psilomethoxin, and it is 4-hydroxylated 5-MeO-DMT. So 5-MeO-DMT is a compound that we also work with here, and it's found in the Bufal varius toad, and cannot be consumed orally. So it can only be vaporized or insufflated or boofed, as they say. And so if you take it orally, your gut destroys it through monoamine oxidase. So monoamine oxidase is an enzyme in your gut that breaks down certain compounds that can be dangerous for ingestion, and also to limit your absorption of them. So what we're doing, or what happens, is when you put a 4-hydroxyl group on there, it sort of acts as like a barrier of defense against the monoamine oxidase. So then it's able to pass through and be absorbed into your blood, and then go in further into your blood-brain barrier. So akin to DMT, which DMT is only able to be vaporized. It's only able to be vaporized and insufflated, or again taken orally with a monoamine oxidase inhibitor, a la ayahuasca. If you take DMT and 4-hydroxylate it, you get an oral version of DMT, and that is psilocin. So psilocin is 4-HO-DMT. So the chemistry is it's 4-hydroxylated 5-MeO-DMT, and now so that's basically what the compound is at its root.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Amazing. So great history, great kind of a more layman's science explanation of what psilomethoxin is, and that it is the original sacrament of the Church of the Sacred Synthesis.
Yeah.
So maybe we can dive into a little bit of
How
that.
we started it.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to know that story?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Backstories are always fun.
Great. So Ian, if for those of you who don't know who Ian is he's one of the co-founders of the church here. He stumbled upon this writing by Alexander Shulgin, being a very very big fan. And so he took and used this recipe and had the person who was growing his psilocybin mushrooms add 5-MeO-DMT to the substrate of the mushrooms. And so just using basic science and understanding of quantities, created various different quantities to see which one would have the greatest effect. And I can remember sitting in the office chatting about, like, what if we had oral 5-MeO-DMT? Like, that was the pursuit, because DMT is so quick. It's just like, you're in, you're out. It's like, wow, it's a lot of information. What do you do with all of it? And so we were really thinking about what could be the use of an orally activated 5-MeO-DMT. And we knew through some of the research we were doing that common modern day antidepressants work in the 5-HT1A receptor primarily. So we're like, if we could figure out how to create an oral 5-MeO-DMT, could this act as a replacement perhaps for modern antidepressants, or could it create some scaffolding for people to not ever need them? So I walk into his house. He's like, "Oh, I had my grower grow these. Would you like to try them?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, definitely." And so him and I, we started to we took a microdose of it, 0.25 grams, so 250 milligrams, and we hung out for an hour. And an hour later, I was like, "Whoa, this is interesting. Very big, very spacious. Not a lot of, say, like artifacts in like psilocin or psilocybin would create. Just so much energy and like really connectedness. And it felt like I had just taken a small amount of 5-MeO-DMT vapor, but over a long period of time. So it was very interesting. And a day later, our friend, veteran friend, showed up, and he was going to be in town for 5 days. So we decided to do a dieta with it over the course of 5 days, titrating the dosing up. What we noticed after day 2 is that we could take it second day and without loss of effect. So because of what we believe in, and what science sort of says, is because of the way 5-MeO-DMT is metabolized in the body, it doesn't create a need to increase the dosing over time. So with psilocin, if you take a dose, or psilocybin, if commonly known as, if you take a dose of it, let's say you take 500 milligrams or half a gram, and then the next day you want to take the same dose and you take a half a gram, you'll notice almost no effects, because you've already created a let's say dependency, but your body's used to the medicine, and so you have to increase your dose almost double to get the same effects. So with this, we noticed almost it would stack. So by day 3, we would take it in the morning, a microdose, and then at noon, and it would accumulate. And by day 4, we were taking a quarter gram every hour until we got up to 1.5 grams. And it was like, woo, big energy, really spacious, really connected. Any like the tensions of like PTSD symptoms and things like that were just like they were erased. It was almost really, really interesting. So so we decided that this compound was so important. It was so unique and important that we had to bring it forward. And at this time, we had created what was called the Church of the Sacred Synthesis, was the parent name, and we were doing it was a DBA, was Veteran Healing Church. So our mission was to bring healing to veterans. And we had registered to do a march on September 11th, or not September 11th, then on 11/11 on Veterans Day, and that got canceled because of rain. But it was a big deal for us, because we were like, oh my gosh, maybe we found the Holy Grail. Maybe we found something that we can really bring forward to people to provide them such a beautiful relief, such a beautiful offering that they can not have to take pharmaceuticals, and help people get off pharmaceuticals. And that was in 2022, and so 2021 to 2022 was like sort of like a timeline of this. And in the end of 2022, we're like, oh well, we gotta run with this. And so we went full tilt. And as you see it, the church as it's right now is seed from, or is a flower from that seed.
Yeah. Beautiful. And in sharing all of that beautiful information, what I also heard was there's, kind of touching the benefits here, is that you can continue to take it. Anytime I've worked in microdosing with psilocybin, I've done a protocol typically of like 5 days on, 2 days off, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in my time of getting to know the sacrament, it's been told and I've experienced like no need.
No need.
No need.
Yeah, you take it every day.
Yeah.
And really the best is like it's as needed.
Yeah.
But with anything, fitness, education, doing a consistent protocol really sort of helps you absorb the vibration, the wisdom that is contained within it, and then as needed, right? Then you just like, okay, I understand it. I'm well. I'm doing well. Then like, okay, I'm having a big weekend, or I'm having something that's going on, and I want to dose up, like we did this past week. It was an as needed experience. So we had previously been taking a protocol of it before we left, but we went to Burning Man, and I ended up taking two microdoses a day, whatever that is, 150, 300 milligrams. I would go out on the playa, I'm like taking 300 milligrams, like, wow, so much energy, so much connection. So it was really beautiful to have that capability to be able to kind of turn it on and off and not have to be dependent on it, right? Because this is the idea behind this. It's not to create dependency on this compound and to make it like a antidepressant where we have to be taking it all the time and like create all these things. It's understand, learn the medicine, and then as needed.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much. So, and wow, you're just really giving such beautiful information. I love the way you're sharing. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I guess now we've been talking kind of sprinkling in benefits here and there. And Ben, you've done such a great job of just naturally flowing that information. So guess what I would like to know is like, what are some, I mean, because this is a novel compound, there hasn't been much study on it right now. So there's some beliefs around what it works on, how it's effective, right? Yeah. But mostly what we're experiencing have since the compound essentially went viral was anecdotal information, experience from those who have worked with it. And even me, like I have my own personal, like really impactful, quick notice of a shift just from working with it. Yeah
It's what really confirmed where it's working in the body. So typical traditional psychedelics that most everyone's working with, which is like psilocin, LSD, those are the two primary psychedelic compounds. Those work primarily in the serotonin 2A receptor, which is the receptor site that is responsible for your, I would say, like, I use the word textured experience, but it's like your senses. So all your senses sort of filter through that receptor. So when you get activations, when things are happening in your environment, those receptors are what is creating the electricity is essentially going through those receptors. And 5-MeO DMT has a 1,000 times greater affinity for the serotonin 1A receptor. And that receptor doesn't necessarily create the traditional psychedelic effect. That receptor, it modulates your rest digest. It activates your vagus nerve. And when you stimulate your vagus nerve, it lowers your heart rate, lowers your blood pressure, lowers your respiratory rate. It calms, it brings ease to the body, sort of cuts away tensions. So what I notice, and what many people notice, if you have worked with it, you perhaps have noticed some of the similar effects. If you haven't, this is really good information for you, is that when you take it, it's activating that same nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system. And what confirmed it for me was when I worked with the Unity Mist nasal spray that we have created, and at a microdose, it felt almost exactly the same as with Psilomethoxin, the Psilomethoxin mushroom. So for me, and for my experience, it was like, wow, this is almost a mirror experience. And some of the feedback we're getting is very similar to that. So, everybody has their own, let's say, their own experience and their own embodiment. But we're really loving all the feedback we're getting, and able to sort of sift through and understand how it's working for individuals and how they're using it. So continuing to receive that's going to be a real blessing.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you touch on everyone has their own physiology and things that are going on psychologically, energetically, et cetera, et cetera. So
we get the same thing with mushrooms, with DMT even. Like, people are like, oh, I see like machine elves, and then other people are like, I see clowns and angels. So it's so unique to what I don't say, like, the base root energy that's within us can manifest.
Sure.
And there's a very subtle similarities, but when it comes to like the textual experience, there's a lot of unique experience there.
Yeah, for sure. And if I may share, this summer has been, I think, basically from the beginning of May through Burning Man at the end of August.
Right now.
Really now, a very full full summer. And I am someone who has a high capacity for stress, for experiences, for living 4 days in one, right? And I used to really pride myself on being that type of person. But in the past few years, really started to slow down, find a bit more ease, not push myself so hard. Yet this summer was a little bit more necessary to be doing and being that kind of overachiever mindset, and just like, I can do it, I'll work all day. And it was important, right? Amazing life things were happening, getting a new pet, moving into a new home, like working here at the church, and other demands on me in other capacities, right? That I said yes to, right? Like, we were all in charge of our choices, and I said yes, right? Gladly. And I was so happy for all of it. But that being said, with it came a great deal of stress. In July, I was overwhelmed, and we decided to do a Psilomethoxin protocol together. And what I noticed, was it day 2? I think it was day 2. I said to you, wow, I'm not just blinking and the day is over. I'm actually, like, I was doing as much as I was the times before I started working with Psilomethoxin this time. And but now I'm actually, like, living moment to moment, and it's now 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I have lived and been in every single moment very crisply and clearly, without feeling like the day flew by. So that was an amazing experience for me. I definitely felt more calm. I'm a pretty laughy, giggly, silly person most of the time, but was starting to get kind of like stern face, more serious, right? When I don't know if you guys are like me, but if I spend too much time at a computer screen, like typing, my face goes from this to like. So I felt like the frowny face was definitely coming on. And I was really grateful that we had made that choice to work with our own sacrament in a very specific way, and could really measure the difference at such a crucial time. So I think, Ben, you kind of touched on that, like working with it as needed, getting to know your own biochemistry and the energetics of specific sacraments in medicine is so important. And our recommendation is always like low and slow. We're very much promoters of working with Psilomethoxin from a microdose level. That's why we have the capsules, lovingly called Psilocap here forward, Psilocap, and then the powder, because we know everyone likes to take them in a different way. So maybe this is a good segue to talk about those particular differences, or how people work with the powder versus the capsules.
Oh, sure. Well, the obviously the convenience of the capsules is paramount. You can take them, pack them, whatever you need to do to transport them, which is, however, I would say because of the convenience, it's great. It's a standardized approach. The powder, the scoops that come with the powder essentially is 150 milligrams. So it's really the same dosing. However, I keep saying however, however, I have several friends who have replaced some of their supplements with Psilomethoxin, and they usually just scoop it right into their coffee. Scoop in the coffee in the morning. So, and also the powder just is an easier way to, if you want to have a higher dose. I can remember a few times where I've taken 1 gram, 2 grams of Psilomethoxin. It's like really nice. But taking a whole bunch of pills is, I don't know, it's like maybe there's some apprehension or resistance to it. But really, that's the main difference, is the convenience. I think that, yeah. Mm-hmm. And so, we had once upon a time some other edible products, and really interested in exploring what the potentiality around that is once again. So perhaps we'll call on you, the community, to help us with that offering. Really have been very interested in creating more of a textured experience around the microdosing, like maybe migrating slowly away from pharmaceutical-esque delivery methods and into a sensational delivery method, right? Yeah. Like, this is like a
more pleasurable ingestion process. Yeah.
Like yummy chocolate, and I don't know about gummies, or chocolate's really good.
Yeah, we love chocolate. So anyways, we would love your feedback. If there's some way that you've worked with sacraments that have been delectable in some way, or just in general, we want to hear y'all's feedback on what you're up to. If you've worked with the sacraments, if you have questions about what the sacraments we offer, anything really that's happening here at the church, we really appreciate, as we continue to turn the dial and make some changes and expand, want to do it in collaboration with our membership, because this is really what we're here for. We're here to serve you all. And yeah, so without your feedback, we can only guess.
We're just dancing in the dark.
Yeah. If you didn't catch it, if you're new here, we did make a significant shift in the structure of acquiring the sacrament. So it's a much more easily available to people, and we actually changed the amounts to which you can acquire it. So if you're curious and just want to give it a little try, you can. There's like, I think 15 at this point of recording, 15 capsules
there's
in an order. So anyway, you can see that on our website.
Yeah.
And beyond that, I just want to thank you all for tuning in, for your time, your attention, which is super, super valuable. And we invite you to come and explore more conclaves, come connect with us at integration, join us and come to new member orientation. And even better, we would love to see you in our virtual ceremonies.
Yeah. If you have any suggestions on content, on what you want to see, I think, did you say that already? Oh yeah. So if you any suggestions or ideas on content, what you want to see, interactions, intersections, please, really would love to hear that. We have so many ideas that are bouncing around, and we want to bring forward something that would really enrich your experience, whether it's art or music or just conversations. We want to, we're of service, and this is why we're doing this, to help bring yourself, your process into alignment and into a higher state. So it's really been an honor to be here, to serve in this capacity. I love it.
Beautiful. All right. Well, you can find everything church related at thesacredsynthesis.com. And until next time, see you all.